Namaskar. I welcome each and everyone, every sincere aspirant, for this beautiful spiritual discourse. Today also, with an invocation, I invite sincere aspirants for this celebration. You're welcome, sir. On this juncture, let us again declare that we are gods and our divinity continues forever with us. Uninterrupted divinity. That uninterrupted divinity is termed as Sadashiva by the ancient scholars. The ancient scholars, they have described our uninterrupted divinity as Sadashiva. What exactly is Sadashiva means? Shiva is God, Sada means always. I am always God, in the sense, though I have become a human being, my original divinity, the original celebration continues forever, and the divinity is on a continuous basis. It is uninterrupted. I am God forever. The true meaning of Sadashiva is I am God forever. In spite of all the intricacies we are facing, in spite of the humanity, in spite of the sufferings, in spite of the temptations by the personality, in spite of all the intricacies we are facing in the real life, let us proudly declare, sincerely proclaim that I am God forever and ever and ever. How grand the feeling is. How fortunate enough we are to become realized gods. As I already made it very clear that everyone on this earth planet, on this planet earth, beautiful God. Because these are the words uttered by me are indelible. Indelible. Yes, how fortunate we are. Though everybody on this earth planet is God, very few are masters. A God who has realized his divinity, who had an introspection, who has realized his foreverness, who has realized his creative inherent energy, who has realized that he is an impeccable being. That is a beautiful master. At this juncture, I just want to remind you that each and every single word uttered by Lord Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is indelible. It can be understood as Vachika Abhinayam. See the beauty of that scholarly being. In the Sankhya Shastra, from chapter number 2, verse number 11, he has begun to teach the grandness of our soul. He has begun to teach the grandness of our spirit. We have never even dreamt of that grandness of our soul. We were not even expecting that we are so grand. It is beyond the expectations of human being. He has made us realize, I mean to tell you, from sloka number 11 to 39, from sloka number 11 to 39, he has taught us the grandness of our soul, the beauty of our spirit, the miraculous performance of our soul, the mystical performance of our soul, the ceremonious grandness of our soul, from 11 to 39. The crux of those teachings, I think, Yes, I have already made it very clear, but the crux of 11 to 39 is grandness of our soul, the impeccable nature of our soul, the pervading capacity of our soul. Pervading means it exists in each and every inch of the universe. The pervading capacity of our soul, the ceremonious behavior of the soul, the grandness of the thinking pattern of the soul, the prism of the soul, prism of the spirit, the immortality of the spirit. In sloka number 39, he has taken a U-turn. He says, yes, you are a beautiful soul, you are a beautiful spirit, you exist in each and every inch of the universe. It is you with your creative inherent energy, you have created this beautiful universe. And you continue to exist even after you exit from this embodiment. You are immortal beings, and your original innate quality, innate consciousness itself is immortality. In chapter number 2, verse number 20, he has categorically made it proclaimed, he has categorically made it very clear that we have never ever experienced the funniest things called birth and the stupidity called death. I am kadachit na jayate, I am kadachit na mriyate. And he has also made it very clear, I am kadachit na bhutva, na bhuyaha, na bhavita. I have never ever transfigured myself into humanity, nor I have transfigured myself into materialistic being. That is why the sensory organs are unable to experience me. The sensory organs are unable to locate me, identify me. And I am beyond the capacity of Panchabhuta. The Panchabhuta are unable to do any destruction to me. Kada? And even if you kill my embodiment, I continue to exist. And he has also made it very clear, I am Ajaha, I am Shashvataha, I am Puranaha, I am Nityaha. He said we are forever, we are always aware. And the so-called, do not measure me by the incarnations, because when the incarnation itself is not really real, how do you calculate my life from the incarnations? I have never ever incarnated. I am Ajaha. Even if you cut my embodiment into thousands of pieces, still you cannot do any damage or harm to my beautiful, original, innate soul. Like that, he has taught us the miraculous performance, the mystical performance, the magical, majestic performance of the soul. Fine. Yes, it is true. We are souls, we are spirits. We are there from origins. Yes, we have emerged into existence on our own. Fine, everything is fine. And we are not limited to one particular planet or one particular nature, or we exist in each and every inch of the universe. That's fine. But right now, we are embodied into an embodiment. Right now, fine, you are a soul. But now, you are embodied into an embodiment now. You have entered into the realm of materialistic nature. The unlimited has now entered into the realm of limited. From there he has taught us Visishta Advaita. Up to 11, from 11 to 39 he has taught us Advaita. From 11 to 39 he has taught us Visishta Advaita. In the sense, Visishta Advaita means when the beautiful consciousness has entered into the realm of nature, when it has begun to live a life with nature, with an embodiment, with material. So now we are living the life of an embodied embodiment. Then how do you do? Am I clear? From 11 to 39, he said, you are souls, and the soul's performance is mystical, magical, majestic, everything is so grand. But now on this earth planet, we have entered not as a soul, not as a spirit, but now we are, though we are spirits, we are now embodied into an embodiment. Then how do you deal with the humanity? How do you handle your humanity? You mean to say that you should quit this humanity? What exactly is the way out? when a spirit which has sufficiently realized that it is a spirit, but when it is continuing in the embodiment, how should it deal with its humanity? How should it deal with the materialistic world? How should it deal with its embodiment? How should it deal with its characters? That is being taught categorically from 39 to 72. From 39 to 72. That is why I said Advaita, Vishisht Advaita. From 39 to 72 is Vishisht Advaita. From 11 to 39 is Advaita. What exactly is Vishisht Advaita? When God has begun to live a life with Panchabhuta. Advaita, when it has begun to live a life with Panchabhuta. That is the thing. That is the magic of Sankhya Shastra. Actually, that is the beauty of Sankhya Shastra. So, he said in chapter in 39, chapter number 2, verse number 39. English.
Chapter number 2, verse number 39. Thus far I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explain in terms of working without fruitive results. O son of Pratha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works.
39. Enti?
Thus far I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruitive results.
Okay. So he said, so far I have explained this beautiful knowledge from a particular point of view. Now I am teaching from a different point of view. That is the thing. Okay, fine. So today's topic is Karmayoga, Sloka number 18. In this beautiful spiritual discourse, the today's topic is Sloka, chapter number 3, verse number 18. Yes, Sloka.
Chapter number 3, verse number 18. Naiva tasya krute nartho na krute neha kaschana na chasya sarva bhuteshu kaschitartha vyapasrayaha.
Yes.
Bhav. A self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties, nor has he any reason not to perform such work, nor has he any need to depend on any other living being.
So a self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties, nor he has any reason not to perform such work, nor has he any need to depend on any other living being. So the opening beautiful grandest eloquence is a self-realized man. A self-realized man. Who exactly is the self-realized man? See, I think you might have heard, you might have remembered, no? Sloka number 13 to 17. In Sloka number 13, Lord Sri Krishna has taught us Yajnasistasinaha, Sant. I think you might have remembered that. In Sloka number 13, Lord Sri Krishna has categorically made it very clear. Yajna, which yajna? Whether ritualistic yajna or Jnana yajna? Jnana yajna. How do you know? He is specific about Jnana yajna because in Sloka number 10, he has categorically made it very clear that I am not speaking of this yajna which is being performed by human beings, which is called as ritualistic being or materialistic yajna. I am talking about that yajna which the beautiful God has performed before creating. Okay? Where the creation is yet to happen, that beautiful consciousness, that original consciousness has performed an yajna with which he is able to create this beautiful universe. So, which yajna it is? Jnana yajna. And another testimony is chapter number 4, verse number 33. Chapter number 4, verse number 33, he has categorically made it very clear that the Jnana yajna is more grander. The efficacy of the Jnana yajna is far grander than the materialistic, ritualistic yajna. Okay? So, with that, it is very clear that yes, he has prescribed about Jnana yajna. Sista, you know, Sista means Srestha, Sistachara. Sista means Sresht. Sresht means, Sista means, if you refer to dictionary, it is self-righteousness. Yajna, Sista, Ashinaha. One who is captivated in Jnana yajna, naturally he is interested in self-righteousness. What is self-righteousness? The self-righteousness includes soul and the choice of soul to visit this earth planet once again, and the beautiful how soul has beautifully designed this incarnation, and the purpose of soul visiting this incarnation, and the strategy of the soul of creating this particular, of programming this particular incarnation. That is the thing. So, when a person has begun to live the life of self-righteousness, when a person has begun to inculcate the knowledge uninterruptedly, then he is free from all the mistakes, he is flawless. He is flawless. The moment he lives a life of self-righteousness, all the corruptions, all the sins accumulated in his thinking pattern, they get washed off. He will be very clean. And in that particular sloka, he has also said, Atma Akaranat. If someone is living a life of Atma Karanat, he is Agham Bhunjate. He is living a life of Agham means sin, Bhunjate. He will have a package of sins. He will be loaded with sins. So, in chapter number 13 itself, he has used the word Atma. Atma. But these scholarly beings has very cleverly Atma. Actually, Lord Sri Krishna has used the word Atma Akaranat. But they have done sufficient fraud on us. And they said simply Atma Karanat. It is Atma Akaranat. Okay. So, in 13 he said, I am again teaching you because a self-realized man means I should explain from 13. Again, my dear aspirants, and I love you, I am making it very clear, your gods never ever get tired. Don't. And never try to gauge your grandness by the incidents which are happening in your real life. Never, my dear friends. Your condition of health, your richness, and the hardships you are facing in your life, or the celebrations you are celebrating in your life, the incidents happening in your life, they are not gaze to your grandness. You are God's. Okay? Fine. Sloka number 13. Lord Sri Krishna has categorically has made it very clear that self-righteousness. When a human being has begun to live the life of Jnana Yajna, I mean to say, when the knowledge is being incorporated into his neurological brain on an uninterrupted basis, he begins to live the life of self-righteousness. What exactly is self-righteousness? Living the life for the sake of soul, for the sake of spirit is self-righteousness. When the moment that miraculous living happens in the life of a human being, he is on this path, he is relieved from all the fraudulent thinking patterns which are being accumulated in his thinking pattern for eons together, for years together. In the same sloka, he has categorically used the words, uttered the words as Atma akaranat agambunjate. Supposing if a human being lives a life, never the soul is being reflected in his life, never the purpose of soul is being reflected in his life, never the soul, never the spirit, never the purpose of soul, never the strategy of the soul, when they are not being reflected in his life, or when he continuously neglects his soul or spirit, he doesn't bother to have an introspection, he doesn't bother to know what exactly is soul, what exactly is spirit, or he never bothers to realize his original self, then he will leave this earth planet with a load of corrupted thinking pattern. That is the thing. And 14, 15, and he has made the gist of the first, the Omkaram. The Omkaram has manifested itself into God. From the God, the acts, Vihita Karma, relevant acts have emerged. The relevant acts means contemplation, introspection. The relevant act in turn has given birth to Jnana Yajna, and the Jnana Yajna in turn has given birth to the energy, the rain of energy. And the rain of energy in turn has manifested itself into material, matter, and the matter has given birth to living objects on this earth planet, and they have begun to perform the karma. So in 13, 14 he has concluded that karma doesn't play any vital role. This universe is not being constructed by karma, but is happened because of the Jnana Yajna. But it has happened because of the Jnana Yajna. That is why he concludes that please realize that Jnana Yajna is the efficacy and the efficiency of Jnana Yajna is so grander when compared to this karma. He has concluded it. And in 15 he said, and if a human being doesn't realize the grandness of 14, 15, 16. In 16 he has said, if a human being doesn't realize the grandness of this Jnana Yajna, and he just lives the life by doing the acts and expecting the result from the acts, his life doesn't have any sanctity. And 17 he said, in 17 in 17 again he said, he has talked about the grandness of soul, grandness of spirit.
Chapter number 3, verse number 17. But for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization, and who is satisfied in the self only, full satiated, for him there is no duty.
No duty. 17 he has made it very clear. 17 is, yes, he had already had an introspection. He has already realized that there is a soul, that the true self is soul, the true self is spirit, soul, spirit. He has realized it. Now he enjoys the life. Every manifestation happens in the realm of soul. Every manifestation happens in the realm of spirit. The foreverness of soul, he has begun to enjoy. He has begun to celebrate the foreverness of the soul. He has begun to enjoy the prism of soul, which is called as Rudraksha. He has begun to enjoy the prism of the soul, which is called as Rudra Aksha, the dimension. So then, today the present topic is, the present sloka, he continues to teach the grandness of a human being who had an introspection, who had a contemplation, that human being is called as a self-realized man. So 17 and 18, they're together. He speaks about the self-realized being, the entity, man. Okay. So a self-realized man has no purpose to fill in the discharge of his prescribed duties, nor he has any reason not to perform such work. In the sense, see, a self-realized man has no purpose to fill in the discharge of his prescribed duties, nor he has any reason not to perform such work. In the sense, in the dictionary of self-realized magical mystical man, the divine being, the word compulsory is being thrown into dustbin. He is relieved. He doesn't have any compulsion. He doesn't have any, the word called compulsory. You must do. There is no compulsion. There is no commandment. Forget about 10 commandments. There is not even one commandment. See, the meaning, a self-realized man has no purpose to fill in the discharge of his prescribed duties. He means to say a self-realized man has nothing insists a self-realized man to discharge his duties or to skip the duties. It is up to him. So, it is very clear from this teaching that once a human being had an introspection, once a human being has realized that he is soul, he is spirit. Once a human being has realized the foreverness of his spirit, once a human being has realized that he exists in each and every inch of the universe, once a human being has realized that he is a soul, he is a spirit, and he is the creator of this universe, once a human being realizes that he is a soul and the innate consciousness of soul is immortality, then the moment that realization happens, that realization, the fragrance of that realization will enter into this thinking pattern. One most ugly word, the limitation, is being thrown into dustbin, and that is compulsory. The word compulsory is not there. It is up to him to perform the act. It is up to him to perform his humanity or to discard the humanity. It is up to him to perform his duties or to throw the duties into dustbin. So there is no director directing to a self-realized human being. Okay? That is the thing. And nor has he any need to depend on any other living being. That is the beauty. Nor he has any other need to live on any other living being. Telugulo kodi chadavamma.
అట్టి మహాత్ముడు ఈ జగత్తునందు కర్మలు చేయుట వలనను చేయకుండుట వలనను అతనికి ఎట్టి ప్రయోజనము ఉండదు.
సో
అతనికి
he has categorically made it very clear. Forget about all these things. Once you should realize the importance of self-realized master. What exactly is self-realization? Self-realization is realizing the true self. What exactly is self? The soul, the spirit. What exactly is soul? Our original consciousness, our forever consciousness. Okay? The more and more you realize the grandness of your soul, the more and more you realize the grandness of your spirit, you are coming out of the clutches of compulsory, must do, must act, commandments, inevitable, compulsory. Those stupid words are being discarded. They are thrown into fire. Okay? Yes. Tarata? అదే దాంట్లో ఇంకా ఉందిగా,
అతనికి సర్వప్రాణుల తోడను స్వార్థపరమైన సంబంధము ఏ విధముగాను ఏమాత్రము ఉండదు.
ఇన్ ది సెన్స్, ఫ్రమ్ దాట్ మూమెంట్ హిస్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ చేంజెస్. ద ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ ఇన్ హిస్ లైఫ్ ఆర్ నాట్ బిట్వీన్ హ్యూమన్ టు హ్యూమన్, మ్యాన్ టు మ్యాన్, మెటీరియల్ టు మెటీరియల్. They are like soul to soul, spirit to spirit. They are like God to God. They are like God to God, soul to soul, spirit to spirit. The affairs of humanity, the affairs which are happening between character to character, are not going to contaminate. they are not going to play any vital role. It is like Naishkarmya Siddhi. It is like Naishkarmya Siddhi. The transactions which are happening between character to character doesn't play a vital role. And the new era starts. The new era is soul to soul, self to self, consciousness to consciousness, God to God. Okay, that's it. So that's the beauty. 17, that is why I said chapter number 3, verse number 13 to 20, they are group of slokas, the bunch of slokas. Okay. What are the slokas? Chapter number 3, verse number 13 to 20. They are all together. Yes. Now let us shift our gears to sloka number 19.
Chapter number 3, verse number 19. Tasmadasaktaha satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hyacharan karma paramapnoti purushaha. Bhavam. Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act as a matter of duty, for by working without attachment, one attains the supreme. అందువలన నీవు నిరంతరము ఆసక్తి రహితుడవై కర్తవ్య కర్మలను చక్కగా ఆచరింపుము. ఏలనన ఆసక్తిని వీడి కర్మలను సదా ఆచరించు మనుష్యునకు పరమాత్మ ప్రాప్తి కలుగును.
So this is the conclusion. Here he has concluded his teaching. This particular teaching has been concluded here. Therefore, he has given an argument and is concluded here. He has concluded here. He said, therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, do the act. Never expect the result from the performed act. That is without being attached to the fruits of activities. What exactly the meaning of without being attached to the fruits of activities? Perform an act. You want to have, you have a desire and you do the necessary act to accomplish the desire physically. But the thing is, you should never ever expect the result from the performed act, because the faculty called activity, the faculty called the performance of doing, the performance of doing is not entitled to give you the result, because there is a beautiful faculty which is very much inherent within you, that is called soul, that is called a spirit, that is called as Shiva, which is very much entitled to give you the result. So the more and more you realize the efficiency of the soul and spirit, the more and more you realize that there is a faculty which is very much inherent in you, within you, and it is entitled to give you the result. You don't expect the result from the act performed. You do the act for the sake of doing, for the sake of pleasure in doing. Then you do not have any pressure, because you do not expect the result from the performed act. That is the suggestion suggested by Lord Sri Krishna. Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act for the sake. It is not, the word duty is not necessary. One should act as a matter of duty. One should act for the beauty of act. It's not duty. Because the word duty is already being discarded, no? Must is not there. So one should do for the sake of doing. One should enjoy in doing. Okay? For by working without any attachment, one attains the supreme. So, what is the conclusion? Lord Sri Krishna has categorically made it very clear in chapter number 3, verse number 19, that all the human beings are gods, all the human beings are beautiful souls, all the beautiful spirits. Once they have realized that about their divinity, about their dignity, the word duty is being thrown into dustbin. And he should, if he wishes, he can just perform the acts. He can just continue in the humanity. There is no need for him to run away from the humanity. As per the situation, he advises us to do the necessary act. In the sense, undoing the doing is not the way out. do the doing, but never ever expect the result from the act performed. And you will attain the supreme. That is the thing. So, sloka number 20 is just a thing. Sloka number 20 chadu.
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
Janaka Maharaj.
आस्थिता जनकादयः लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि.
English.
Kings such as Janaka attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duties. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work.
For a human being, it is very difficult to get convinced living the life, performing the acts without expecting the results from the performed act. And Lord Sri Krishna, he said, yes, it is very much possible. The role model is Janaka Maharaja. Janaka Maharaja is the role model. You just adopt the lifestyle of the Janaka Maharaja. You just adopt the thinking pattern of the Janaka Maharaja. The knowledge which is being taught by me is being exactly utilized by King Janaka. King Janaka is the replica of awareness. He is a replica of a self-realized human being. King Janaka has realized sufficiently that he is a soul, he is a spirit, he belongs to ages. He is just playing the character of a king right now. He has, if you analyze the life of Janaka from the from the physical point of view, he has acted like a king. Like all the other kings, he has performed his duties as a king. He has safeguarded his kingdom. He has beautiful ammunition, beautiful army to safeguard his kingdom. He has taken all these steps to govern the beautiful kingdom, to flourish people with grandness, richness. He has safeguarded women. Everything he has done like an ordinary king. But in his inner, he has realized that he is not a king. He is never a human being. He is a beautiful soul. He is a beautiful spirit. In spite of the beautiful realization, he has just enjoyed the character. So, he has the life of the modus operandi of Janaka is like this. The modus operandi of Janaka is like this. He has lived the life of an ordinary human being, an ordinary king. He was performing the duties of a king. But inside he is always aware that he is not Janaka. He is just playing the character of Janaka for a while. He is always a soul, always a spirit. So that is the beautiful suggestion suggested by Lord Sri Krishna to entire humanity, to all the generations which are going to happen on this earth planet. What exactly is this suggestion given by the Lord Sri Krishna? Awareness. What exactly is awareness? Playing the character to the fullest extent, but realizing that it is only a character. Once the realization starts, we will never expect the result from the act performed. It is not doing the act, it is not doing the act, but it is doing the act, but not expecting the result from the act performed. That is the magical teachings of Lord Sri Krishna. Jai Sri Ram, Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Sanatana Sampradaya. And I tell you honestly that the one and only way out for humanity to go back and reclaim his divinity is the grandest teachings taught by Lord Sri Krishna. This is a beautiful, grandest teachings. If you could understand the insight of this beautiful teachings, if you began to adopt, incorporate these teachings into your thinking pattern, I tell you, the magical, the mystical, the majestic, the grandness of your divinity starts right now, Tattachan. Okay? And I love you all. With this episode is completed. I'll meet you in the next episode. Namaskar.